Welcome back, guys. This is Josh and I have another Apex video for you guys. In today's video I'm going to talk about Bloodhound and how to win. Wait, give me 1 second. Dude, why are you on my screen? Okay, well, I didn't give you permission to get on the screen. I'm actually talking about you. Okay, well, I need you to get off. Okay, thank you. Alright guys, let me get back to what I was about to say. So in today's video I'm going to talk about how to win with Bloodhound. In this video you will see a full gameplay in its entirety, one match where I win and become the kill leader. So if you guys haven't done so, please subscribe, like, comment below, and let's get to this video. Alright, so we're off launching into this section of the map. Again, remember this is video of the Bloodhound in its full entirety of how we win, obviously with some randoms, and then I become the kill leader as the time progresses. So obviously, you know, you're landing, you guys know this, we're trying to find some weapons that fit our needs. I'm not sure what kind of weapon sets you guys like. I'm more of a mid-range, close range type of guy, but if I need to, I will grab that long range gun. I do like the triple take. It works really well. I like how it bursts into multiple bullets, not just one particular one. And then the L-Star is really nice too, because you know it causes a lot of damage and it can blind your opponent. So it's a really good weapon to hold. Flatline, I like it too, but if I had to choose between the 301 or flatline, 301 for sure. But for me on this matchup, what I was trying to find is a Prowler, just because I've been getting really good with that weapon, especially if you have that select fire on it. Man, it takes it to a whole nother level. It to me, I feel like it drills a lot better than any other weapon that is high velocity, and especially in close encounters, like you can drop people quickly if you aim right, obviously. So you know, I'm trying to find obviously the Prowler with the select fire, and then I am trying to also get a Peacekeeper, which I do get eventually later in the matchup. I'm starting to get better with the Peacekeeper. I wasn't much fan of it at the start, just because you got to have real control on that gun, and it's more of a hip fire gun, not so much ADSing, but it's more like, you know, if you're really close, hip fire, bam, you can take them down. But you know, if you know the 301 or the RE45 showed up too, I would take those guys too. But on this match, I really just wanted to focus on the Prowler because I was getting some really good kills in other matchups. So again, we're obviously lucky here because there's no one here in terms of enemies. We pretty much have this whole area of the map for ourselves to loot and to make sure we have the correct loadout as our, you know, as we please. So we're kind of just walking around trying to get everything, make sure we shoot it up before we move on to the next step. The Anvil receiver, man, that add-on is pretty dope with the R301 for sure. Even with the flatline, I will still like, you know, the R301 just because it's my favorite. Flatline, I feel like the control on that one is a little bit difficult to manage, but they're both pretty good weapons. So again, you know, now we're moving, we're progressing. You know, one thing, like I mentioned before on my tips and tricks video of Bloodhound, with this new buff, man, this guy can really scan far out areas. He can really capture some far distances, and always when you're going into battle or approaching a situation where you're not sure if there's anyone inside buildings, do it before you go inside. That way you guys have the upper hand, and then you guys can pretty much talk within each other to see where you guys want to go. Obviously I see the Peacekeeper. I'm kind of reluctant to grab it, but I do get it just because I wanted to use it because I have the hop on for that gun. But it looks like I don't do it right now, so I eventually do get it. But I do like the triple take. Obviously you guys know this. It's always good to have a long range weapon at the beginning of the matchup, just because, you know, there might be some shootouts from a distance, but as you guys get closer to the end game, last part of the video, it's more of a close encounter situation. Unless there's people camping far out, then of course keep your sniper. But yeah, you know, Bloodhound, he's my favorite character. You know, if you practice with him a lot, you'll definitely like him. You know, one example that I like giving about his abilities is that he's like a UAV. basically a person, but a UAV that scans, helps your teammates, helps you as well to get those kills, and it kind of distorts enemies as well to, like, feel unweary, feel unsure about where you're going to come from. Because that's happened to me before when I'm playing as Bloodhound or any other character. If I get scanned from an enemy, I'm like, oh crap, is it from behind, from the front? I need to, like, kind of secure this position and see where he comes from. Especially when the enemy Bloodhound unleashes the ultimate, that gets pretty intense because they're obviously hyperactive, moving quickly to take you down, and you got to make sure you get those shots before they get you. So now, we're obviously getting some action. We're obviously moving closer and closer into the middle of the map. We actually landed at a good spot where we're not getting so much traffic right now, but we eventually do, in terms of taking some people down. And I know in this room we face our first encounter, which I use the Prowler, and you guys are gonna see how this thing rips. Pretty intense. So obviously this is the ultimate. You see these guys knocked down easily. I see the guy far out in that room. He's gonna come out, and you're gonna see how I just knock him right now with the Prowler again. So again, I'm shielding up. Always make sure you shield up with cover, and then bam, right in the head, in the dome, really quickly. Again, if you guys haven't used that weapon, use it. I know it sucks when you don't have it, meaning the select fire, but if you guys find the select fire, it will do wonders. I hated the weapon for some reason at the beginning, just because I thought it sucked, but again, once you practice and you get better with it, it will become one of your favorite weapons for sure. And then combine that with a Peacekeeper, which I know will make the switch eventually. It's pretty much like the boss move to have. One being you have the Prowler that shreds quickly, and then you have the Peacekeeper. Like if you have the enemy ready to die, one shot, you just switch to that Peacekeeper, shoot them, done. They're just down. That's why I like that combination between the two guns. But again, just making sure we load up, we get everything that we need, stock up on some ammo, and we move on to the next area as time proceeds. So there we go. We got the Peacekeeper, and making sure we make the necessary switch outs to get the ammo for that gun. So Peacekeeper, man, this gun is awesome close range. At the distance with the that hop on, it's good if you can manage to get your shots from a distance, but I really like it at close range, just because once I get that full body aiming right to the head, you'll do a lot of damage to knock that character down. So yeah, so obviously right now we're doing our due diligence, getting everything that we need. Obviously I have the upper hand because I have my scan ready, and I'm waiting for my ultimate to obviously max out again so I can use it later on. And I believe we do find some more action in this area, which I think we do. But again, whatever weapon you guys have, I always recommend any player to make sure you guys have like a close to mid-range, and then a long range, just to kind of be useful in different distances. But if you're really good with a mid-range to shoot long range, then go for 2 mid-ranges. If I could, I would have gone with the R301 and the Prowler, but I really wanted to stick with the Peacekeeper just because I've had a lot of success with it in previous matches, going on 1-on-1s, 2-on-1s, and just trying to practice to get better with the gun. So again, Bloodhound, I know I mentioned it before, he's one of my favorite characters because of his abilities, how useful he is in a team environment. But I also like Gibby, I like Watson also, and these players are very defense oriented. I would say Bloodhound is very aggressive, but I don't believe in the whole aggressive and passive style of gameplay. I think it's more on how you play, because you can make any character aggressive as long as you know how to hold your own and make sure you can take down enemies as needed. Because Watson, I'm aggressive with Watson, I'm aggressive with Bloodhound, also with Gibby, using his shield to take enemies down. So it just depends on how you play. But I don't believe in the passive and aggressive styles of the character. I think it's more on the player who plays. So now we're getting into the area where, if I'm correct, I believe most of the action comes to. This is where the ring will close, I believe. But here's where we, face a lot of encounters, and you guys will see the action of the Prowler and the Peacekeeper. And also this area of the map, I really didn't like it before. I know it was a new part of this map on Season 4. I kind of hated that initially, but one thing I've noticed playing matchups back to back to back is like no one really lands here as much. I think because a lot of people think people go in the middle, but this is one area of the map that I always feel it's low traffic area. So if you guys ever land, just land in this area, you guys will get a lot of good loot for sure, which I've noticed. I'm not sure if you guys have seen anything different. So again, I'm just trying to find if there's anything better. Anything in terms of ammo, shields, backpacks. I think one of my teammates got the key, so I think they're going in there and looting some stuff. For me, I really don't need much because I have everything that I need in terms of my purple shield, the guns that I want, and yeah, I'd rather let them get pretty much stacked up with their stuff. And usually when you go in these rooms, I've noticed playing with different players is that, a lot of the players like to kind of loot everything and be very, how would I say, not split the items in there amongst each other. So, if you guys go and open the room, just make sure you guys leave some other items for your teammates. Don't grab all the gold. If there's like a gold, purple, then grab one of each, or one thing and leave it for someone else to grab, because it's going to benefit all you three than just you having the max out loot, which plays no advantage at all. So just make sure you kind of spread out the wealth amongst each other. So I think now we're getting into some action now that my teammates have gone in the room and we're ready to get into some action. I'm starting to see some footsteps, which is the tracker, the passive, which I mentioned before in my previous video for Bloodhound, which really helps because now I get to see, obviously 30 seconds ago, 49 seconds ago. So you're seeing the trails. Are they hot? Are they cold? Right now they're cold because they're past the 30-second mark. But if they were hot, they would be a bright red, and it would be probably less than 10 seconds. Yeah, I think I might see some enemies to the right. Yeah, right there. There we see some action. So this part of the map, man, you're going to see how I play this out and how I actually take these guys down. My teammates, I think they do get downed, one of them, but you're going to see how I use this room as my main point to just shoot, cover, and lock it down. Because if I had moved from at any moment in this match to not lock this area down, we would have lost point blank. But because I'm being aggressive and I'm holding the spot, you'll see what I mean in terms of them not even approaching us. They keep, like the enemies inside the room right across us from that bridge, they pretty much stay locked in there because they're scared to come out or not, or what I'm going to do next. So here I keep my distance. Obviously you see the other Gibby, I see those guys too. That's another team. So I'm keeping this area locked down. Yes, I do move around because I'm trying to get these kills and not give this enemy or this team a chance to win. But again, you're seeing me take these teams down. Obviously get knocked. And you see the little footprints too. That helps a lot, especially when they're going in rooms. You get to identify the footsteps in red. Luckily, I have a good team that works together. I know with randoms, it just starts sucking. So now I have 4 kills. So obviously I need to shield up and get back to that space. Now I have 5 kills. And get back to that space that I told you guys about, that stairway. Because that's what's going to separate us from them. And if I allow them to move closer to us or flank us from another end, we would lose this matchup. So I'm obviously going to start looting, get everything that I need. And always make sure you guys reload. As cheesy as that may sound, always reload your weapons to make sure you guys go into battle with full ammo and not an empty clip. So that room right there is where those guys are at. That's another team. There's multiple teams in this space. Obviously there's 3 squads. So now you know, my game plan is, okay, I need to get out of this open space and keep myself closed in into the room and lock that area down. Obviously the circle is closing, so it's either going to be our side or their side, but you're going to see right now how I keep this in lock. And definitely have many shields. You guys see that 21. If you guys like rewind, you guys will see 21 shields. That is the boss move right there. So you're seeing that I'm doing a lot of damage. The Pathy got scared. He comes back up. And then there goes, I think that's a lifeline. So you're seeing I'm keeping them locked down. I'm not letting them get out of that room. Because if they go to the other side, that's the other enemy too. So they're pretty much closed in, which is a sucky feeling to be, where we have a lot of space to move around. And my game is just keep applying pressure. Keep applying pressure so that they can't come out. And they know they can't. And it doesn't matter if I'm missing these shots. What I'm trying to do is just keep them in that tight spot. And make sure that they know that they have an aggressive player on the other end that's trying to keep them in there. So again, I'm not letting them out. Just keep them in. I might miss some shots. It doesn't matter. You're just showing that aggressive play. So now, right now, it's allowing my teammate to res up my teammate while I'm applying pressure. Because if I don't, then they're like, oh crap, see, I know where they're at. My teammate looks good. I can see if I can go grab some more ammo, shield up, and get back to work. So again, this room is key. If I had a Watson, I would definitely be closing these areas down with her fences. But with the Bloodhound, you know, especially with his ultimate and his scans, it also applies the same pressure. So again, even if I miss a shot, it doesn't matter. Even if I do minimal damage, it doesn't matter. They know that I'm applying pressure and they can't come out from that end. And then once we get the Q, my teammate knows to go in there and start pushing in. Obviously there's an enemy knocked down. I come in. Look at the Prowler do work. And then I see the Pathy. He kind of got me at a good spot, but he gets taken down. Now we have 6 kills. Now we have one more team to knock down. Now I am the kill leader with Bloodhound, which is awesome. But the game is not done until we win this matchup. Obviously with the scan, that helps a lot. And all I'm trying to do is obviously ammo up. And then get ready to action and take this team out. Almost get him. Knocked. There we go. And you're seeing the Prowler is just doing work, man. Like it's too strong. You got 2 teammates down. One more. Almost got her. But we have already applied enough pressure. Take these guys out so they can't come back. And now let's go for the last character. Always shield up. Obviously my teammates down there. They're applying the pressure. They'll take them down. But now we're ready to go. And bam, taken out. So look, you know, Bloodhound is a great character. You know, I love this character. It's one of my top 3 characters to play for. And you know, if you're just applying pressure, you're applying the same game style that I'm playing, you guys will be very successful with this character. As you guys can see, I almost got the 2K baggage. I still haven't gotten it, but it's all good. Again, the whole purpose here is for you guys to see gameplay or even get some interest into playing Bloodhound, just because he's an awesome character. His scans do a lot of good for you and your team, and using weapons that complement each other like the Prowler and Peacekeeper can take you a long way, but at the same time having teammates that work well, really well too. So I'm pretty sure if I didn't have 2 good teammates, I wouldn't have made it. But again, you know, getting into randoms, players that can help you and you know, stay in the game till the end helps a lot, but also knowing how to play the character and the weapons. So I'll leave this on a good note. And like I mentioned before, if you guys haven't done so, please subscribe, like, comment below, and I'll continue to create more and more videos for Apex. And I appreciate your time, and until the next one, later guys.